before we begin. So, yeah, I did watch the 2 monster episodes, and it actually, yeah, I get it now, and I also understand why I have such issues with that show and other shows like it. It's right. I try to make sense of things. That's how my mind works, right? I want to see the ideas and I want to see them in action, like psychology, philosophy. What else do I like? Science. I often am in a mindset like that. So, the monster episode was about a man. Plasma says, too bad you can't stream it while discussing it. Oh, the monster? But I can explain, because this monster episode, you don't have to see it. It's spoilers for you, but you don't have to see it. It's quite a short premise, and it's a standalone episode. There is this man, an old military man, right, proper military man. He goes to war in Myanmar or somewhere, and when at that war, he's going into a house. A woman draws a pistol on him, so he shoots and kills the woman in front of her child. So his logical conclusion, and this is where my mind hits in and just that bothers me so much. So what happens is he takes this child, he kidnaps this child, and for some reason, through his whole military career and whatever, brings it from Myanmar and is allowed to bring it back to Germany and then raise her as his own. And my mind just goes, that just won't happen. It just won't happen. But I really enjoyed the episode. Blasman says, is this anime supposed to bother you and make you uncomfortable? Yes. Yes, it is. Well, not necessarily. But what it manages to do is to elicit complex emotion and complex moods. Right? Because in his mind, kidnapping this little girl and giving her Stockholm Syndrome is him doing the right thing. He thinks he is doing her right, he's taking his responsibility. He killed a woman, therefore the child is now his responsibility. So what does he do? He kidnaps the girl and gives her Stockholm Syndrome and raises her as his own. Completely fucks up her mind, but still at the same time, while doing that in his own twisted logic, in his own twisted mind, he is just fulfilling his duty. That's just his duty. And that's a mood. That's a complex emotion, right? Oh, I can jump down. Probably want to. The light seems to tell me. Nice. Last one says, sounds good. Not the kidnapping, but the anime. Yeah. There's so many plot holes in the anime. So if you can overlook all the plot holes and the stupid story, what's happening, it's about the mood and the complex emotions. Just it was like the same thing. The whole premise of the whole show is this doctor saving the life of a child. Well, maybe I shouldn't. No, fuck. What about spoilers? Asma says, would you consider that similar to how parents may lie about how who their other parent is? I mean, it's similar, right? It's similar. It's the parent deciding. Well, then you have a parent deciding for a child. This was the murderer. Like, he murdered this child's mother in front of her and then kidnaps. It's similar, but it's way worse, right? It's way worse. This poor child. Oh, man. Complex emotions. I mean, and she, of course, hates him, rightfully, but then gets Stockholm Syndrome, and it's like, Oh man. Complex emotions. Taken to a more extreme. But, I mean, similar, yeah. I mean, well, parents making decisions for their children, or adults making decisions for children. I suppose it is similar in that sense. But lying who their other parent is. I mean, there was no lying in this episode. So it would, I would, like, if we would have to make it similar, that would be like an adoptive parent being honest about being adoptive, but shit talking and turning the child against their biological parents. So not necessarily just lying, but similar, alright, yeah. Complex emotions, right? That parent really wants the best for the child, but it's from an outsider's perspective, it's not best for the child. Well, not from an outsider's perspective. From my perspective, it's not what's best for the child, but still, oh man, complex emotions. Colgate Untitled says, how about the episode about the great heckle? I mean, I enjoyed that as well, right? It makes me think about the show similar to, I don't know if you've seen Samurai Jack. You know, it's all about eliciting emotions and complex emotions. If we look at it that way, then I mean, he's just trying to get by, right? I enjoyed it. It wasn't super great or super, like, it wasn't anything. I didn't get any specific stuff about it, I suppose. I like some people do whatever. I kind of like the ending with the terrorists, right? Him learning and understanding that they're just not terrorists. He followed the what's it called? The principle of... He learned about the principle of charity. People have reasons for their actions. Right? That's what he learned. And it's not just pure terrorism for the sake of pure terrorism. He had a reason. Like everybody have a reason. Lasmus says, Samurai Jack was a great cartoon. Colgate Untitled says, I have not seen that. Yeah, I enjoyed Samurai Jack. It's similar in that regard, that it's very much about the mood. Right? That Samurai Jack was all about the mood, right? The story didn't have to make sense. Just like the story in this doesn't have to make sense. The characters don't have to make sense. Well, I guess in Samurai Jack, Jack himself made a lot of sense though, right? He was an amazingly built character, and I felt he was kind of authentic. I don't know about the, like, his behavior was consistent, right? Oh man, Samurai Jack, so great. But the doctor has become quite a badass now. Just like single-minded focus. Just like Samurai Jack. Colgitino Tab says, is there a giant floating fish, or I'm just seeing things? You must be imagining things, Colgitino Tab. Have you been sniffing some gases, Colgitino Tab? Fuck, I don't have a poker face, do I? Damn it. Oh, I tried. I wonder what the fish represent. Are we going down? No, here we are. Blasphemous says, Cider, is the reason you don't like discussing your own personal philosophy? Wait, don't I? Cider, is the reason you don't like discussing your own personal philosophy because, like you said, when you were young, you would be told you were wrong a lot. That's the thing, right? I've studied philosophy both at uni and like personally. So in my mind, a lot what we're doing on the stream is me discussing my personal philosophies, my personal ideas. That, in my mind, that is what we're doing a lot. I like my own, I like to be able to generalize my own personal ideas. That makes sense, Blasphemous? So I'm not sure how to respond. But yeah, I did, like, that's why I'm so rigorous. I'm very rigorous with my own personal philosophy. Probably because for that reason, Blasphemous. So I think your analysis is spot on, but I do like discussing my own personal philosophies. In my mind, at least. Colgitinotab says, do you like Heckle? I mean, I like him as a character. I wouldn't want to run into him in real life, right? He's an asshole, right? I like the character, yeah. It was a good dynamic. I think the dynamic between Heckle and the Doctor, it's one of the dynamics of characters I've enjoyed the most. Well, we got the military and the child. Of course, I enjoyed that dynamic as well. But the Doctor and Heckle, that's a great dynamic. I'm enjoying that. Single-minded focus and right, he's pretty much Samurai Jack right now. He is like Frankenstein. He's hunting his monster. That is what the Doctor is doing. Yeah, it's the story of Frankenstein. That's exactly the story. He's Frankenstein, single-minded focus on hunting, and then we add a greedy little weasel. He even looks like a weasel, right? And I enjoy that dynamic, yeah. Plasma says, oh, you made it sound like you would prefer discussing it in the more college intellectual bit of scientific way. I mean, I enjoy that. I enjoy discussing my personal views in that type of rigorous type of discussion, right? I like to take my views and generalize that, try to generalize them. That's my methodology, and I probably have that methodology because, like you say, people disagreed with me, or I disagreed with people all the time as a kid. People were mean to me about it. And like the anger issues and all that. And the feelings of, not fitting in and trying to understand the world. I spent a lot of my childhood confused, I think. I was very confused. My childhood years and early teenage years, very confused. And not grasping the emotional, the social game, right? I didn't grasp what was going on. Right? If someone says, oh, what lovely flowers you have, or what a nice haircut you have, in my mind, and that's the literal sense of me, right? In my mind, that is the aesthetic appreciation. People will never say, oh, what an ugly haircut you have. That's not something and that, in my mind, in my childhood, I could not make sense of that. So a lot of that was me trying to understand the sense of the world, and that's what's led me into philosophy, I think. This is just rationalizing my own history, psychoanalyzing my own history. Maybe, I don't know. Blasphemous says, we discussed this before, but I really dislike the idea of people telling children not to ask why. Yeah, I remember that. And question things when they are young. Many times it encourages them to do it less and less as they become older. Yeah. I would encourage children to ask all the why, how, when, all the questions. Ask all the questions. And encourage the question asking, right? I think from me, it's like it's a lot of stigmatization of people being wrong, right? Parents just wanting to have the answer, and when they don't have the answer, they tell the children to shut the fuck up and stop asking questions instead of saying, I don't know, let's explore it. That's what I would want to see. Alright, Colgate Untitled linked this blog. The Cataclysm is upon us. Run for your lives. What could be terrifying about cute little bunnies and eggs? Nothing, you say? Well, think again, for the Cataclysm has arrived to y'all and stay until May 1st. Wait, is there an event? Beware of what lurks in the strange place, for sometimes bunnies have big teeth. It's a yearly special server event, triggered every 10 minutes by the server to all players currently logged in. There are other such events. Come find them during all during the year. Cool. We might get into that. Part of me feels kind of finished with my y'all. I was considering taking an extended break from it, but I don't know yet. Maybe. But yeah, I'm with you, Blasphemous, yeah. Encourage people asking questions. And not stigmatize misunderstanding and confusions and stuff like that. No Donor says, isn't it weird when you meet a kid who used to bully you later in life? Yes. It doesn't happen very often to me. I stay away from people, so actually, I think it's weird running into any people from my childhood. Right? Even people, I wasn't super bullied. I was just... I didn't fit in anywhere. I was frozen out. I wasn't, specifically picked on for being different. I was just not welcomed into the group. Into any groups, pretty much. But yeah, I find it strange running into childhood people from the childhood, yeah. Oh. No Donor says, I'm making tuna, mac and cheese and mashed potatoes. Thick and tasty. Wait, potatoes and macaroni and cheese? That sounds weird. Usually a meal for me is either pasta or potatoes or rice. It doesn't, or vegetables or whatever, but having two of those three things, or rice and pasta, that's weird. Sounds weird to me. It's out of my realm of... But I mean, molten cheese is one of the best things in life. I like tuna, yeah. Nodano says, whoever thought, oh, let's mash these potatoes. That would be a good dish. I praise your pioneering spirit. Man. I was immediately thinking, oh, that must have been the Irish, but I don't know. It's probably way earlier than that. I think it just happened. I think mashed potatoes is so old that it just happened, that there was no single individual. It's just they were boiling potatoes and left them on the stove for too long, so it just pulverized, right? And when it pulverized, they, oh fuck, this is way too dry. Let's just pour some milk or whatever into it. And there you go, mashed potatoes. Because that's Irish cuisine. You boil everything and then you try to eat it with a fork, but when you put the fork into whatever you're trying to eat, it just goes... That's Irish cuisine in a nutshell. And from that powder, you can make mashed potatoes. That's why I was thinking Irish, but that can happen to anyone, right? Alright. Charcoal? I'm thinking charcoal. Charcoal. Scientists, rising sea levels will increase shark attacks frequency for obvious reasons. Oh man. I enjoy these. Obvious reasons. Even though I'm guessing the exact opposite thing will happen. The disruption of sea levels rising will... Oh, well, maybe. It depends, right? What dies first, the shark's food or the sharks themselves? If the shark food runs dry, pun intended, then sure, they will attack, be more aggressive. They're starving. Obvious reasons. Oh man, that's funny. Colgate Innotap says, I wonder why the soldier told about Tenma to Lungi. He said he doesn't like to talk about his students. He was talking to a police officer. He's a military man. He's proper, right? He follows the rules. That didn't surprise me at all. He just expressed his feelings. I don't like talking about my students. That's a fair thing to do. Right. When I go to the dentist, I say to the or to the doctor most recently, and they're gonna take a blood sample or go to the dentist and they're gonna start fiddling around in there. I tell them, right, if I warn them, I'm afraid of the situation. I don't like it. I want them to have sympathy and be more gentle with me, right? Maybe that's why he said it. Colgate Innotap continued. Did he do it regardless of his distaste, or was it not true that he did not like to talk about his students? I mean, people do stuff that they don't like to do all the time, Colgate Innotap. Yeah. Oh. Nice to see you again, Banana Waffle Monkey. How are you doing today? He says, when I talk to the dentist, I usually say because there's too much stuff in my mouth. Nice. Right? Like, if a police came and talked to me about whatever, I would feel the same way. I wouldn't like snitching, but like, depending on which questions. And there were some questions that he did not answer, right, Colgate Innotap? There were a couple of questions that he did not answer. That he did refuse to answer. Node Runner said, I'm having mashed potatoes as a side. They're not mixed with the macaroni tuna. Like that. Colgate Innotap said something sounded like Inspirabot. I don't know what. Oh, maybe this? A little bit, perhaps. Node Runner says, maybe you should say you're afraid even if you're not, so they treat you with more care. Yeah. I mean, it's always nice when someone takes extra deliberate care of you. It is indeed. And for me, it's kind of a warning because I can get that, like, when they put the needle out, like the heart beating and me becoming twitchy and stuff like that, right? I want to just forewarn them that that is what happens. It always happens. But it's fine. Colgate says, please don't tell the police about my lack of hop gardens. Yeah, the shark thing sounds like Inspirabot. Sharkle. Yeah, kinda does, right? Oh man, I probably won't. It depends on the context, right? Well, hop gardens, I don't see an issue, right? It would be difficult if I knew if they were looking for you about a murder and then was asking about does he own a hop garden. Right? If there was a murder investigation, I probably would, though. Oh, Colgate In on Tap gives us an existential comic. Let's check it out, I suppose. These are so long. I haven't read enough Wittgenstein to know where it comes from. Tell me, Wittgenstein, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much pain are you in? What do you mean? Just look at the chart and tell me the number of what you are feeling. And you expect the answer I give you to relate in some way to my internal conscious experience of pain. Oh, we were talking about this earlier and the other day. Of course, the more pain you are feeling, the higher the number you say. But how is that possible? This is nothing more than a language game that we play in order to negotiate the next move in a social situation of being in a hospital. Yeah? And why is that not fine? I'm assuming Wittgenstein did not like pragmatism. Look, neither of us can know what is going on internally with each other or anyone else. If I give a 5 and that next patient gives a 5, we can't compare them to see if we feel the same amount of pain. Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, he does not like pragmatism. That's for sure, because pragmatically we can, I would say. Also, Wittgenstein, don't tell me what to do. We can't even tell if we're feeling the same type of thing. Their name for pain could be associated with an entirely different feeling, and that could never be discovered. This is what I call teenage philosophy, right? I remember that from my teenage years. How do I know that my experience of red is the same as your experience of red? And I mean, it's just saying it's teenage philosophy does not invalidate it. That's not what I was trying to do, right? Just saying that's old ideas. Very valid. And if you haven't done this philosophy, then I highly encourage it. No Donor says, I like this comic. I think this to myself every time someone asks me that. Well, this? You're not a pragmatist either, then, Nodrunner. Nodrunner says, that's an easily proved example because we know colorblindness is a thing and there's a test for it. But we don't know about the quality of the thing. We don't know about the experience of the thing, right? We know that colorblind people, like there's plenty of different types of colorblindness, right? I think there's even a rare condition where you have more color than the norm. But, so actually, yeah, we prove that we know that it's not the same. But if we're not colorblind, let's assume that you and me are not colorblind. How would you and me know that our experience of the color red is the same? It's what he's saying, right? What do we report? It's all self-reporting, right? It's all self-reporting. And it's not reliable in in the deepest meaning of the sense. We don't know what the world really is. But more than that, both of us are well aware of the fact that we have no grounding for the scale, and the fact that my answer influences your next move in this little game of ours. Since you both know that it will affect the game. Alright, let's see where this is going. No, it says we know that people can experience color in different ways. Yeah, got a good point. And people experience pain in different ways. And we know, actually from that, we could probably go that everybody experiences everything in different ways. Which is interesting. Say a young woman comes in with severe cramps the day before she read an article in the paper that reported doctors systematically ignoring or downplay women's pain. What do we expect she should do when answering this question? Relate the internal experience of pain to an unknowable scale? No. She will of course attempt to convince the doctor to treat her pain seriously, right? She may even play act, or if she's gone to doctors before in her life, she doesn't have to have read the article or whatever. She could have met doctors all her life systematically ignoring or downplaying her pain. She may even play act a greater pain than she has to say 8 when she feels a 6. Not to make the doctor believe she is feeling more pain than she is, but only to get proper treatment, because she knows she's prone to believe, because she knows. She doesn't know, though. That's the argument that you're making, that she does not know. She doesn't know. She cannot know. That's the argument you're making. She believes he is prone to believe she is exaggerating. The doctor may think he detects that she is play acting and write down a 4. What they are doing more closely resembles a game of poker than a scientist describing a fact about the world. Yes? So you see, the scale itself is merely a part of the social game of doctors and patients interacting and has nothing directly to do with the pain at all. It is no different than a game of poker. It's definitely not a... This is a tool for language communication, Wittgenstein. They would play the exact same game without the tool, and they would make a worse job out of it without the tool. No? No, says, that was what I was thinking about different colors and everything, and the pain and everything else. And we do that, right? Because we all have our own biases. No says, I also think people lie about their pain for access to drugs. Narcotics and drugs, yeah. I can see that happening. It's sad that they can't just have access to the drugs that that we have to make liars out of them, right? The problem is not the tool. It's about society making them lie in this way, just like society making the drug addicts lie for the drugs. Right? If there were no need to lie, then the social game would not contain the possibility of lying, right? If you take away the reason for lying in this situation, then you don't have to make this game harder than it is. Right, so I'm really just looking for a number from 1 to 10 so I can write it down on the chart. Fine, a 9. You aren't getting any morphine, you know. Actually, it's more like a 10. There we go. You sprained your ankle, Wittgenstein. You just need to ice it. Yeah. Love that was the ending. Oh, man. Yeah, legalize all the drugs. Please, pretty please. Don't make liars out of people. I remember that. Like when going to school, I had to ask the school for permission for a holiday with my family. And I'm like, So if they say no, what then? Will we not go on the family vacation? Yes, we will. So why are they making me a liar? Why don't I just have to report I'm gonna be away this time? Why do I have to ask permission when asking for permission makes me a liar? What's the point? What's the point in making people into liars? No donor says, if someone is addicted to drugs because it helps them to cope with their emotional pain, that's often the case, right? How is that different from physical pain? Someone outside can look at you and see the cause of your physical pain. It's easier to relate to physical pain than emotional pain. And you would probably not be considered addicted if you have physical pain. So there are some differences, but not relevant enough to, for any reason, not give someone access to drugs. Colgate Denotaps says the language game didn't lead to morphine this time. Yep. Physical pain can have internal causes too, says Colgate Denotap. Yeah. I think you meant mental causes, right? Yeah. Your mind can lead to physical pain, just like your physical pain can lead to emotional pain. It's all you. It's all part of you. All of it is connected to your neurons. All right, what does Bay have to say? Last night inspired me. Like, that's my opinion, right? My personal philosophy, Blasphemous. Legalize all the drugs, all the narcotics, all of it. Just all of it. We've discussed that plenty of times. For the longest night, I'm getting you a library card. You're welcome. Library card. Longest night? I didn't understand. Dude, my mouth tastes weird this morning, like a tire. I'll be at work trying to wash it out with whatever's in the cooler. Away message. Planets are to be pitied as they cannot know how big and cool they are. Dr. Kathy Conklin, National Astronomy Agency. I would never pity a planet. A planet doesn't have any feelings to pity them about. They're inanimate objects, right? Until proven otherwise. Oh well, until evidence of the opposite. I wouldn't pity a planet. No donor says it is like society passes judgment on emotional pain, like you just need to suck it up. Yep, that's exactly what happens. But the moment you feel physical pain, you're prescribed all the good shit. That is pretty much what happens, right? And for some reason, we have to even have a doctor, right? To be the arbiter, to have that communication 1 to 10. Why isn't just the person, individual themselves, the arbiter, right? Instead of me having to say 1 to 10 to you, why can't I just say, oh, I need this much? Why do I have to report to you at all if we're just managing pain, right? If that's all we're doing, why aren't why is the middle? Why does the middle hand need to be there? Right? Especially since the methodology is throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks, right? Then why not put that power in the hands of the individual? Right, Blasphemous, you could try the drugs yourself, right? The narcotics yourself, right? See if anything helps with your headache. If that were the case, that would be a way better system, wouldn't it? Blasphemous says, in places where they are legalized, aren't they also better about giving people help when they need it, since it is not as stigmatized? I don't know. I think it can go either way, Blasphemous. The only thing I've seen, I have a vague memory of Portugal, and they're taking more care about people, right? They're more inclusive, and people are more likely to ask for help because they're not afraid of getting caught. So it probably leads that way. I would assume, but I would also say that not necessarily. And Christiania in Denmark, I don't know if you've heard about that, but that's kind of a shit show. I don't even know how that looks anymore. I haven't heard about that place for years now, but... Blasphemous says, I don't want to try those things. I'm not into treating the symptoms. Oh, right, yeah. I was thinking in your, like, there's probably... Well... I don't know. Are there any drugs that can solve a headache? Or is it just pain management, right? I like that differentiation, right? Treating a symptom, that's just pain management, right? Are there any drugs that actually helps out? And if not, what the fuck should the doctor do? You're interested in a diagnosis. You're not interested in... Oh, that makes a lot of sense. You want a diagnosis. You don't want the treatment. You want knowledge, right, Blasphemous? That would be great, wouldn't it? If everybody got a diagnosis before any treatment. Ooh. That's probably far into the future, unless society collapses. If we continue the path we're on with the technology development and stuff like that, most things would probably be diagnosed before, like a proper diagnosis before treatment. Oh man. That's a utopian dream right there. Utopian idea. Something to strive for. Yes, indeed. Actually, I just put words in your mouth. I don't want to do that, but it's just my thinking. Banana Waffle Monkey says, American colleges had to implement something where if you report someone on campus who you think has alcohol poisoning, you won't get hit with a MIP, minor in possession charge afterwards, because students would have a friend who's super fucked up, not wanting to call an ambulance because because students would have a friend who's super fucked up and they would not call an ambulance because they're worried about getting in trouble. Wait, is that a thing? In colleges? Like, they care about you drinking or not? That's fucking weird. No one cared about that when we were drinking as teenagers. And that was even in high school when we started drinking. We were only hiding for our parents, and we were hesitant because we were afraid of getting in trouble with our parents, not with the law. We were not afraid of the law at all, just our parents. You were also involved in the drinking. Yeah. I remember having those situations, like, should we call, like those discussions, right? Should we call their parents? Usually we did, right? If someone was non-responsive, that's That's when you call the parents. That's what we did. Lasma says he gave me some muscle relaxers. They are basically useless until I want to go to sleep since it causes drowsiness. They aren't treating the problem, they're just making me loopy. Yeah, right? That's right, they're not diagnosing, right? They're throwing spaghetti at a wall. That's the methodology. But I can imagine a time in the future where diagnosis comes first, rather than trying treatment first. But I don't see that in my lifetime or yours, Blasphemous, or I don't think a person alive today, unless we get the thing where people live 1,000 years, then maybe, but Banana Waffle Mix's legal age is 21. They care about freshmen and sophomores drinking. Oh. The legal age here is 18, but that's just for purchasing. Well, you can go out to the pub drinking at 18. You can buy from the liquor store at 20, I think. That's the difference. Blasphemous says, I'm not the type of person that wants to feel high. Nope, not everybody is. I am the other way around. Well, I want to feel high for the escapism kind of deal. That's why I don't anymore. No alcohol, no sugar, no tobacco. None of those things. Actually, I'm considering, I've never had a problem with alcohol, so I've considered being like a little bit, not like super drunk, but just from time to time, just getting a little bit woozy, I suppose. That's why I wanted to make my own liquor. Hey Bird, sorry I'm always rude to you. See, the boxes are still here. Love how Dad just moved the boxes down here and now they're just gonna stay here for days and days. Right, time to fight with Mom, or are we gonna be civilized? Friendly. Morning, sunshine. You feeling okay? You look a little limp. Yeah, weird dreams. Weird night. You say weird a lot. Just being honest. You taking headache meds? Oh. Speaking of the trolls. Headache meds. Actually, I don't think I like that language. I think I would want to see a differentiation in the language on that. Lasma says this game is trolling me. Right after we've been talking about this, I would want to see medication is for treating illness. And then pain management drugs is something different, right? Like aspirin is not medication. That's pain management drugs. I would want a clearer distinction when talking about these things. Because they are two very different things, right? Very different. Like what the doctor, like in my views anyway, what the doctor should prescribe is medicine. While pain management should be available to anyone at any time. I would put some restrictions, right? Some of the heavier stuff, like morphine, I would say that I would probably put in a similar system to what we have in Sweden, like a requirement that when you buy it, you need to listen to a 20-second rant by the person who's selling it to you. They have to give you a 20-second rant, like a warning label, kind of. These are the most important dangers you need to be aware of. Like a 20-30 second rant. Every time you buy it, you would need to listen to that. Something like that. I would probably be okay with putting that in. But that's the only restriction, right? Wait these 20 seconds and then you get access. But in the best of worlds, I wouldn't even have you pay for it. But we're far off from that sense, right? So we'd probably still have to pay for it during our lifetimes anyway. Yeah. Moving money around it's a helpful system. It's too helpful to get rid of yet for most things. Actually, that would be a good thing. You could go, like, to move from point A to point B, like politically speaking, you could keep the doctor having these, like, how painful is it from 1 to 10, and have them give you your prescription. That is just getting it for free, right? Because, well, you paid for the visit to the doctors, I suppose, so that's not for free either. I don't know. I was just thinking of how a transition period would be looking like. Banana Waffle Monkey says, too bad we can't just have our own personal virtual machines where we can just try all the drugs we want, and if it goes south, you just yeet out and go back to reality. That's probably in our future, don't you think, Banana Waffle Monkey? As long as society doesn't collapse and all that, but right far into the future, like Neuralink and all that, that's gonna be some wild rides, I think, for future generations. Banana Waffle Monkey continues, I guess that's dreams, but it's also not what I'm thinking of. No, that's not dreams. That's... I mean, maybe you can have an LSD trip in your dream. I don't know. I don't think so. Not an equivalent experience. Like some people claim, if you practice meditation for years and years and years and years, proper practice, then maybe you can reach a similar experience to an LSD trip. But I wouldn't know, right? I haven't practiced meditation for years and years and years and years. They are reporting it, though. Don't know what to make of that. But the same kind of people are reporting all kinds of weird shit. Those people. Like people taking LSD reporting that there are gods or intelligences out there as well. I don't know about that. You taking headache meds? They're in the bathroom cabinet. Yeah, I am. They're kinda working, kinda not. Well, maybe you need more sleep. I mean, more than the 10 hours or so you already get. Yeah, 10 hours of sleep? That's a symptom. That's the problem as well, right? Treating the symptoms. Since, right, if we're talking emotional pain and depressions and stuff like that, it is a fact that if you can, like, sometimes if you get someone to just get a proper sleep schedule, the depression will go away. That correlation exists. So of course the doctors not knowing and just having correlational studies, because that's all medication studies are, right? They're all correlational. So it's always a guess. It's a guess based on previous knowledge and studies and all like that, but it's always a guess. Any treatment. Because they cannot know how you will react. They just know statistically how a lot of other people have reacted in the past. And that's the only thing they can know, right? Wolfmonk says, I should partake in some medicine trials. I'd be an outlier and scuff all the data. Thing is, though, if you'd be a big enough outlier, they would just throw it out. That's a problem, right? Oh, we didn't expect this result, therefore we call it an outlier and do not calculate it as part of the statistics. That is not very good. It has to be... I mean, I suppose it's okay doing it as long as it's big fucking red letters where you're saying, oh, we had to throw out these because of this reason. As long as you report that, I suppose it's fine. You've always been my sleepy girl. Oof. What did you do last night? Went to the library with Bay. That sounds nice. It was. Weird? Interesting. Okay, gotta go. Be safe, hon. Take it easy, you really do look a little tired. Blasphemous says, Cider, do you feel like Telegram or Signal are better for privacy? Well, I have no idea. I haven't looked into that enough. Personally, I'm using Signal. I haven't read up upon any of them, so I don't know. I think Telegram is the decentralized one, right? I would probably go for the one who's most decentralized. I know Signal is running everything through their own server. Their own servers. Lasman says, what bothers me about Signal is that you have to know the other person's phone number. Oh, I thought you only needed the phone number to register. If it's locked to... Oh man, I hadn't paid attention to that. If it's locked to your phone number, then you cannot really be anonymous, right, Blasphemous? That's the problem of anonymity, so if you can't be anonymous, then your privacy might be at risk. This is not my area of expertise, but I would assume so. Banana Waffle says, Telegram is the one for furries. Yes, says Blasphemous. This is for furries. But I heard that the argument for me is like, either way, just fucking leave WhatsApp and those other bullshit behind and... Right? I don't know if you watch Mental Outlaw. I watch most of his videos. Except for the fucking training ones. I don't know about that. But I watch most of them. I usually... When it comes to privacy and security... I usually just take his word for it. I know you don't like that attitude and that approach, but I just take his word for it. And he made a convincing argument, right? For the masses, I don't care. Just leave the other stuff behind and go to a open source, more privacy respecting thing, right? It's a scale. You're way over here in privacy, and it's better if you just take a step this way. If that step goes this far or this far, it doesn't really matter to me. Just take a step, a baby step. Any step makes me happy for the general population. So I like that approach. That's how I think about it in general, I would say. Blasphemous says, yet Signal seems to be the one that these supposed privacy experts recommend. Privacy experts? Who are they, the privacy experts? Who are them we're talking about? Oh, this is a long fucking link. I need to copy paste that. Wait, will it work like this? Yeah, I just need to do this. Is this safe for the stream called Get In Tap? Oh, wow. Lorehold humor. Why did Karl Marx dislike Earl Grey tea? Because proper tea is theft. I don't get it, and I can't see what the image is either. I need new glasses. Actually, what day is it today? Is it Friday today? Alright, it's Friday today. Tomorrow I'm cutting the stream short. I'm going away, testing my eyes, ordering new glasses. That's happening tomorrow. Maybe just in half an hour shorter or something, leaving early. Something like that. I don't know. Banana Waffle Monkey takes a lot of... Oh, man. That's the only thing I don't like with WeChat. I can't see the emotes. He does Twitchlit, Mercy Wing 1, Sabaping, Mercy Wing 2, and Twitchlit. Alright. Oh, right now, Banana Waffle Monkey? Did it happen right now? He said in all caps, so I saw that before that one. He says league launch. Is it right now? No. Not right now. It's this afternoon, right? Well, for me, it's in about like 8 hours, 9 hours. Yeah. Usually late. I don't know. I'm kind of hyped about it, but fuck, I've got so many games to play. Blasphemous pointed out that I feel like I have unfinished business with BioShock. I really want to finish that business as well. Wait. Oh, hey, Colgate also said, is it bad if I find this offending? Oh, here we go. Lorehold humor. Why did Karl Marx dislike Earl Grey tea? Because property is theft. I don't even understand it. And I mean, if you find something offending, I don't know if that's good or bad. Anyway, you find it offending. It is. I don't know. Oh! Thanks. Just... Blasphemous and Banana Waffle Monkey both at the same time. Property. Property is theft. Oh. Oh man. Some people say that if it has to be explained, it's not funny, but I found it funny. Oh man. Alright. Blasphemous said, yeah, someone wanted to use WhatsApp earlier. I feel like an asshole having to explain to people why something like WhatsApp is not good to use. Wait, what? Why do you feel like an asshole for it? And also, it's an opinion, right, Blasphemous? You're not explaining to them why it's bad to use. You're explaining why your opinion is you don't like WhatsApp, right? It's you don't like it, and you're trying to convince them to have the same opinion as you do. It's nothing assholery about that. Assuming that they have to have the same opinion as you, that would be a little bit rude. Still not assholery, not in my book anyway. Colgidinotab says, safer stream, it's Friday. I am a little bit behind on the chat I was asking before. Colgidinotab says, Marx never said that. Oh. Pierre-Joseph Proudhon. It was this guy. that was the offensive stuff. It wasn't Marx who said it. Oh man. I had this great t-shirt. I don't know where it went. I bought it in China. And then I just lost it. But it was, you probably, well actually. You've probably seen it before. Party. It's gotta be popular. Alright, yeah. I had this t-shirt. I love that t-shirt. That's funny to me. Alright. Pierre-Joseph Proudhon said, I think you're wrong. I think it was Seyfert Bibelbrox was the one who said property is theft. Yeah. Socialist, politician, philosopher, economist. Philosopher I've never heard of. The founder of Mutualist. Mutualism. I've never heard of this either. What's this? Oh, actually, that's... Mutualism is an anarchistic school. Right. Most of my background in philosophy is not political philosophy. My background in philosophy is metaphysical philosophy more so. I am interested in political philosophy as well, but I haven't read up on it as much. So it is an anarchist school of thought and economic theory that advocates socialist society based on free markets. We've been talking about that. And usufructs. It's a limited real right found in civil law and mixed jurisdiction that unites two property interests of usus and fructus. Usus is the right to use or enjoy a thing possessed directly and without altering it. Fructus is the right to derive profit. I don't like that idea. It's the right to derive profit from a thing possessed, for instance, by selling crops, leasing immovables or annexed movables for tax entry and so on. Alright, it's selling stuff. Yeah, I think my political views on owning stuff for the moment is that land ownership, I can't get behind it politically. I don't think that should be a thing. Right? You can restrict movements to a location by different laws than saying someone owning land. I don't know how one can derive land ownership. I don't see how it can be done in a way that I find palatable. Lasman says, being an asshole comes into play when you are not going to talk to them if they insist on using WhatsApp. Actually, then, if you feel like an asshole, let me say that I'm happy that someone stands their ground. That you stand your ground. I'm weaker than that, right? If we're talking about the hypocrisy scale or how much you follow your ethics, I don't draw that line for myself. So I'm happy that someone does. Blasphemous. And in my mind, that does not make you an asshole. That just makes you a political activist. And those, I think political activism is good for society. Resolute, yeah, standing up for your beliefs and all that. I commend you for it, Blasphemous. I couldn't, right? It's like the same when we were reading the Stallman thing. I commend him for doing all those things. I couldn't myself. I'm too lazy. Oh, no. Efficient. No, I'm too lazy to get that going. Not an asshole at all. Colgate Inotap says, I don't think that is being an asshole. It's just setting boundaries, right? Boundaries. It's your boundaries. And Banana Waffle Monkey was the one calling it resolute. Yeah. And I would encourage you not to let people see yourself as an asshole for doing that. If they call you an asshole for doing that, then fuck them, I suppose. Colgate Inotap says, if people can't agree on a platform to communicate, they won't communicate. I don't like forcing platforms on people. But there's a drawing a line as well, Colgate Inotap, right? Otherwise, if you just have, well, I suppose you can just stop talking to people. But if you're like a social butterfly and you want to talk to all the people and you don't draw a line in the sand, then you'll end up with, what, like 5, 10, 15, 20 different communication apps. And that's madness. Right? Maybe not. That's not madness. Maybe some people enjoy it that way. Having one app for each friend, that actually could be considered good for privacy. Because they only track the communications you have with one person. So, like, profiling you becomes way more difficult. I don't know. Getting out makes me feel better. All right. Me too. Maybe it's a good day to get out in the fresh air. I'll let you know. Bye, sweetie. Nice and sunny today. I hate rainy days. Just want to never leave bed. That's the reason I like rainy days. Staying in bed. Not necessarily just staying in bed, but staying indoors. I like staying indoors in a rainy day. Sound it makes when it falls on the roof, hits the windows. I like that. Sometimes I like the smell of rain as well. I love them. Nice and grey. Sun's too bright sometimes. Need some cloudies. Gloomy little eel you are. Eels, Mom. Eels, Sonny. Alright, I'm out. Bye-bye, sweetie. I love their way to deal with conflict. Just pretend it isn't there. Just pretend it isn't there and let it fester. That's how you deal with conflict, right? Blasphemous says, even if you use an app that is supposedly more private, I still wouldn't trust it being used on their phone since they are most likely not de-googled. But good luck getting someone to do that. Yeah, right, no. I think it takes all kinds. Right, I haven't even de-googled my phone. I'm planning to someday in the future, but it's like, oh, the roadworks are done. New route to go. What's over here? New stuff. Kind of want to de-google my phone. I'm just lazy. Right. I can't even. But I don't. It's not my area of expertise, but I can't even claim ignorance. I can't even claim ignorance. So I'm worse than other people, right? Other people can claim ignorance. I can't. I'm just... it's fine. It's fine. But I use Signal. It's better than nothing, right? Baby steps. Baby steps. I like baby steps. I will in the future. Maybe someday in the future I might even delete my Google email account. Right, I've left it behind. I have just a few uses left. Maybe I'll delete it in the future. Who knows? Colgate Innotap says, I don't think it's madness. Yeah, right. It was unfair to call it madness. If you want to talk to 20 different people who all refuse to use anything except for one communication platform, and they all use different platforms, I think it's very reasonable to choose between not using those platforms and talking to those people. Alright, the thing I called madness was using all the 20 platforms, all the 20 apps. That could drive one to madness. But yeah, it was unfair of me. Me personally, how many apps do I have? Like 2? 3 messaging apps? It's like, that's... If it's 3 apps, that's 2 too many. I just want 1. And be able to talk to everybody through that. Anybody, everybody. All the rest is bloat. Farming. I could farm. If I stay in town long enough, I could see getting into the farm life. The problem with farms is the amount of poop. Like, even if you don't have animals, you actually buy poop or something. And shovel it all over the place. It is madness. Same with this. This is not madness. It's just poop madness. It's necessary. Kind of weird, right? All the poop where the food comes from. The food comes from the poop. Banana Waffle Monkey says, or you could just shudder, call people. Oh, gross. Banana Waffle Monkey. So gross. What are you talking about? Ugh. Calling people. Didn't I tell you before? I've worked at customer service. Like, deep hatred for humanity was instilled, but even more, a deeper hatred for talking in the phone. Phone calls. Maybe I'm over it. It was a long time ago. Mint. Are you keeping your eye out for pentagrams? You have told me about no pentagrams so far, and I haven't seen any of them. Colgate Innotap says, but then you need their phone numbers, and people don't like to share those. And that's an app, right? Well, that's the basic idea of the telephone, calling someone. Well, it was. It was the basic idea. Sending your voice. Now you send your text. I wonder how, like the thing Blasphemous have been talking about, the issue about... No, that wasn't Blasphemous. That was me talking about that. The issue about people just presenting the best version of themselves. How that is derived from... Now, it's probably we just want to present our best, and it's easier to do that in text than in voice. Because you can edit the text. You cannot edit a phone call. That doesn't happen. Banana Waffle Monkey says, I haven't had much of an issue pulling digits. Well, pandemic aside. Yeah. Like, I would say most people don't have issues with giving out their phone numbers. I would say I would guess that most people are just fine doing it. And they would gain a specific reason for not giving out their phone numbers, right? Bridge freezes before road. Ah, yes. Good knowledge to have. If you're more southern and you're not used to the cold, this is a good warning. Good knowledge to have. It's so fucking weird. Every year, not bridges necessarily, but every year in Sweden, there is this like weekend, or this week, this couple of days where there's just a bunch of accidents, right? Proper bunch of accidents. It's like people never fucking learn. When the cold comes, the roads get slippery. But people don't learn. Colgateino Tab says, I call quite often to people. Ooh. I call official business, right? Companies and organizations when I need to talk to them. Since I've worked so much in customer service, I know what their work is like. So talking to people in a customer support line is fairly straightforward to me. After this, a few miles and you go under... Wait, after this, a few miles and you go under the highway. And it's just rolling fields and farms. I missed the corn mazes this fall. And the haunted barn in Brittle. Always next year. For campfires and corn dogs. Weird that the town ends like... BAM! Right here. There's like a line. Somewhere. That no one can see. But you can put it on a map. Yeah. Again, yeah, land ownership. I don't get behind it. Right, welcome to historic Possum Springs, original county seat of Deep Hollow County. You're not lost, you're here. Nice. Banana off mixes. I call friends. I don't do that. Well, I mean, I call people when it's in preparation of a meeting, or like, where are you, and stuff like that. When there's a reason, right? Or if we're supposed to meet up somewhere and I'm like, I'm right here. Where are we meeting up again? But just calling out of the blue to talk? No, then I'm sending a message. That's what I do. Colgateino Tab says, like, if I need to talk to somebody who is not quite on speaking range, I'd rather call them than yell at them to get it across the distance. But would you call someone who was in eyesight? Wouldn't you just walk to them rather than yelling? Alright, Colgateino Tab says, moving myself is not an option because I am efficient. Actually, I hate working out. I really despise it. I can't do it. So if I have a reason to move, I see that as a benefit. So I would move because of, oh, now I've moved. Burn some calories or whatnot. Whatever. Efficient exercise, I suppose. Hello, milkers. Selmers. Damn it. Terrible with names. Hey, Selmers. You were great last night. She was great last night. It was a great poem. Ah, thanks. Having you to bounce ideas off helped. Oh, I'm good for that. Want to hear a new poem? Yeah. Sure. This is a short one. Because I'm tired. Me too. So that works out. I got mad one time. It was online. I've been mad on the internet before too. It's crazy making. Was that it? I was mad one time. It was online. It's crazy making. Was that a full poem? That's... What were you doing at the library? I go to the library. No, but seriously. Yeah, right. No, but seriously. Colgatinotap says, if I need to be in the same location, I'd rather call them and ask them to come to me rather than to go there. I mean, I could get behind that and in a similar way because I would prefer to stay in my own home rather than meeting anywhere else, right? I would prefer people come over to my place rather than going over to their place. Because I feel safe at home, right? You know, right? Easier to deal with. I play a mean banjo clawhammer. Really? I play bass. We should play together sometime. You know Longback Vale? Oh, yep. Alright. You know Tom Dooley? Yep, my dad likes that stuff. You know Willer Garden? Nope. Colgatinotap says, I meant within the same building. Like if I'm in a different room. I consider that rude, right? If I want to talk to someone in the same building, or want to be in the same room as someone in the same building, then I see that as my responsibility to move to that person, rather than shouting or calling them and telling them to come into the same room as me. Yeah. That would be my perspective on the thing. But yeah, kind of rude. Right? They are less efficient as well, right? Maybe they want to be efficient as well, and you're forcing them not to be. I don't see an ethical issue with it. It's just, yeah, personal perspective, right? There's no grand ethical statement saying who should move in that situation. It's just etiquette, rather. Wonder if the squirrels ever steal undies. There's only one sock hanging here, so who knows? Banana Waffle Monkey says the compromise here is messenger pigeons. Man, that would be cool, wouldn't it? Messenger pigeons. You can make one of those can phones. Well, I suppose. Colgatinotap says, I'm not forcing, I can move too if they are efficient. But I like to take my chances. Not all people are efficient. Not all people are efficient in the same way as you are. Actually, that's a valid point, Colgatinotap, right? Should I really decide for them? That would also be, I could consider that rude as well, right? I decide that they should not move. Or I decide whatever happens, right? But I would still probably walk myself. Hey, little girl. I'm a legal adult. Oh, sorry. Who are you? Liz? I used to live here. Where? This building, right here. Before you were born. When did you move away? Went to school, wandered off, I guess. Do you like it better where you live now? It's nice. Possum Springs is nice too. I think it's alright. It's alright. Yeah, pretty alright. When I was a girl, I'm 20. Right? Nice. I used to lay awake at night, worried that the statue would come to life and climb in my window. Oh geez, that's spooky. You never want someone hanging around outside your window. Thinking of the bird where we're hanging out the bird's window. Not magical, evil statues, at least. Yeah, nothing evil or magical should get that close. Yeah, nothing magical or evil will get that close. Yeah. You're in luck, let me tell you. No magic, no evil. Not a thing. I live in the attic. No one can get to my window. That's good. Not even vampires or warlocks or skeleton men. I'm glad we had this talk. Me too. See ya. Weird. Oh man. It feels so sluggish moving now when I've been playing so much Ori. Ori's smooth. There are some few issues that I would have preferred fixed, but I think it's way smoother than this, for sure. 2 episodes of Monster for tomorrow as well. Yes. I was actually afraid yesterday when I started. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna get tired of this, right? But it feels like it clicked. It feels like I can deal with it. I can deal with all the plot holes and all that bullshit. Just for the complex emotions. Could need practice in complex emotions. Let's go and check up on Bruce. Oh, what time is it? Yeah, we can check up on Bruce. No one here. Colgate Dinner Tab says, nice, only 64 episodes to go. You can make it. I think I can, right? I think a switch flipped. Maybe. I think maybe a switch flipped. Hey, you free? Maybe? Wanna go on a quick adventure? Don't you have a job? Esther's gone. I'm going to skip out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, let's go on an adventure. Let's skip work. Only I'm skipping work on. Oh hush. I'm an accessory to the crime. Accessory? Accessory. Also not a crime, sweetie. I don't think I've ever been up here. Alright. That's our stopping point. Not checking on Bruce, since there's an adventure. Hard C, soft C, says Banana Wolf Monkey. Accessory. Wait, hard C. What's a hard C then? Is that a K? Is a hard C a K? Accessory? Accessory. Thanks, Banana Wolf Monkey. Thanks indeed. Itadakamasu? What does that mean, Colgate Tap? Banana Wolf Monkey says, Iterashai. No, I think it's Japanese. Fucking weebs. Damn weebs. That's the insult, right? Is that an insult? Gochiu-su-sama or something, says Banana Wolf Monkey. I forgot. I apologize. I hope I didn't hurt anyone's feelings. Oh man, I've been worse and worse. I was good at that in my teenage years, just throwing jokingly insults around. I'm not so good at it anymore. I'm just afraid I'll hurt someone's feelings. It's like Bon Appetit, but Japanese. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Bon Appetit. My favorite insult is, you smell like snot. Love that insult. It's really great, isn't it? You smell like snot. Think about it. Plasma says bon appetit. Bon appetit. Ah, fuck. I've never seen that before. Bon appetit. Nice. Petite is like a slender person, right? Short and slender. That's petite. Bon appetit. Nice. Nice. Very nice. All right. Thanks for the discussions today. And yeah, see you next time. Cheers.